We're back with Bedtime Stories, Grown-Up Edition, The Root of All Evil, Part 11. Now, in Part 10, you all went with me to work, to the doctor, back to work, and now you're going with me home. Also in Part 10, we find out that Q and LJ have found out that Bruce purchased a brand new, fully loaded Honda Accord for a stripper named Lola. That Lola gave Bruce her old beat-up car that she literally had fixed with funds that she earned by doing a little something strange for a piece of change for Bruce. And the icing on the cake was that Bruce had Lola fly back with him to North Carolina, pretending to be his wife. Unfortunately, Angela is still missing, and Stephanie and Marcus are on their way to find her. Back at the house, Q has given LJ the rundown of the information that he got from Lola, and they have Lorenzo tracking it down. When Q left the strip club, he immediately called Lorenzo, provided him with all of the information that Lola provided about her vehicle. Lorenzo said that he would hack ALPR systems and try to find out whether that vehicle pings on any of them across the country. He then informs Q that he was able to put a trace on the track phone that Bruce purchased from the Walmart. He sends Q the link that has all of the previous GPS data and real-time location information. They're reviewing the GPS data, and in the historical data, they've tracked the phone from the Denver house to the location where India's car was found, and now they've tracked it on a 4-hour journey to Wyoming. After a long, winding road, the tracking data ends, which suggests that either the phone died or it was powered off and the battery was removed. The two PIs are doing everything in their power to figure out where this phone could possibly be going. They don't want to jump to conclusions and assume that Jessica has this phone. But at 2 a.m., Lorenzo calls and gives them the evidence that they need. Lorenzo confirms that Lola's old beat-up car was captured on the ARPR system, automated license plate reader, in Casper, Wyoming. LJ says, "There's got to be something we're missing here." He looks over at the clock and realizes that it's about 5 a.m. in North Carolina, and he decides that it's time that he call his better half. Regina answers the phone. "Hello?" LJ says, "I want some of your brown sugar." Q says, all right, y'all lovebirds. Don't start that mess. Get to the business, man." Regina says, "Don't hate, congratulate." LJ asks Regina, "How you holding up, babe?" Regina says, "Not so good, babe. Right now, I'm chomping at the bits, waiting for you to tag me in, coach, so I can pull up and put my foot so far up." LJ cuts her off. "I know, babe. But right now, I just need to know if you can think of any reason why Jessica would take Angela to Wyoming." Regina says, "Oh, so I need to book me a ticket to Wyoming. That's what you're saying?" LJ says, "Regina, just tell me what you know." Regina says, "You promise that you're going to keep me posted, and if I need to, I will get on a plane." LJ says, "Babe, I'm keeping you posted, I promise." Regina then tells LJ that he needs to call Lauren. She says that when Miss Cheryl passed away, Angela hired Lauren to represent her with the estate. As a result, Lauren will have the address to every property that Angela and Stephanie inherited. She then tells him about a conversation her and Angela had after one of her therapy sessions. Angela said, "Best friend, you are never going to believe what I remembered today in therapy. I feel so stupid. Mommy had me and Stephanie so ingrained in church, and clearly it only stuck with me. Because I swear I was like 12 before I really realized that people could actually have babies with people they weren't married to." Regina was like, "What? Girl, you are crazy." Angela said, "Girl, I am so serious. That's clearly why I didn't realize that Jessie and Missy were my sisters." Regina said, "But what does that have to do with therapy today, best friend?" Angela says, "So we were talking about my childhood, and I remembered the family trips that my dad used to take us all on. Well, one year he took me and my sisters, all 4 of us, on a family trip. And we never stayed at hotels. We always stayed at a house. Well, this particular year, I remember my dad telling us that these houses we were staying at all belonged to us, that we would inherit them one day. I didn't really know what the word inherit meant, but clearly Jesse did. One of the places that he took us to was in Wyoming, this small town called Casper. And I absolutely loved it. You know I love the cold. Well, Jessica, she hated it. She absolutely hated being cold. So when Daddy said that we would all inherit the properties one day, she looked at me and said, well, you and Stephanie can have this one. And me and Missy will take the ones in the warm cities. And I remember thinking how odd it was that she and her sister would get any properties that my family owned, because she wasn't related to us. Then Angela and Regina bust out laughing. And Regina said, best friend, you was slow. Regina then broke down on the phone with LJ and said, babe, please find my best friend. I don't know what I'm going to do without her with her slow self. LJ said, babe, I will move heaven and earth to find our best friend. While LJ and Regina were talking, Q was looking up flights to Wyoming. There weren't any until later in the day, and none of them were direct to Casper. LJ calls Lauren, and as usual, he wakes her up out of a deep sleep. Lauren answers the phone and says, hello. LJ says, sis, you are the only attorney I know who sleeps in late. Lauren says, 5 a.m. is not late, bro. What is wrong with you? LJ says, I'm working. I'm up. It's 2 a.m. here, and I'm not even going to bed. Lauren says, good for you, but I have a life. LJ busts out laughing and says, sis, you're going to have to get up. I need a solid. Lauren says, what could you possibly need that can't wait until a decent hour? LJ says, sis, we trying to find Angela. There's nothing that can wait until a decent hour. Lauren says, oh my goodness, bro, I'm sorry. You woke me up out of a dead sleep. I completely forgot. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be insensitive. What you need? I'm getting up right now. LJ says, I need all of the addresses for all of the properties that Angela and Steph inherited from the estate. Lauren says, all right, I'm going to log in right now. Where you want me to send it? LJ says, don't send it anywhere. Just upload it to the firm server and I'll download it from there. Lauren says, okay, I got you. Stay safe, bro. Q and LJ hop in the rental and head for Casper. In North Carolina, Miss Brenda, Regina, and Marcia have met for their morning prayer. Miss Brenda is praying heaven down. Lord, you said in your word that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities.
Yes, Lord.
Against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places, Lord.
Yes, Lord.
Angela has now been missing for 4 days. At the Albuquerque Women's and Children's Hospital, a woman walks in with an infant. She tells the hospital staff that she delivered her baby at home via midwife 3 days ago. Everything's been fine, but for the last few hours, her baby boy has been lethargic, unable to eat, and has had a high fever. The nurse rushes the baby to the back. When they ask what the baby has been eating, she tells them that the baby is breastfed. The nurse brings her a hospital-grade breast pump and asks her to express some milk so that once they're done with all of the tests, they can feed the baby. The nurse is impressed that the woman's milk has already come in and she's able to express 4 ounces for a baby that was only born 3 days ago. The woman tells the nurse this isn't her first baby. She's an overproducer. And she's engorged because the baby has been refusing to eat for the last few hours. The nurse collects the milk, takes it back to the nursery where they do the normal breast milk testing to make sure that there aren't any antibodies that might be causing an allergic reaction for the baby and to make sure there aren't any drugs in the mother's system. The woman asked the nurse about how soon she should get some information about what's going on with her baby. And the nurse says that she should get at least preliminary information from the emergent test being run within the hour. And when she asked the woman the baby's name, the woman says Angel Daniels. When they ask the woman her name, she says Lola Daniels.